Well, it's been 10 long years since the first feature film for X-Files. Did you have any doubt that you'd come to this point with your second film?
I had all kinds of doubts. We had talked about doing a movie even during the TV series, and then we talked about it just after the TV series, and for a variety of reasons, it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Fox called up and they said, "Let's do this. It's now or never." And so we said, "Let's do it now." And that was last year, and we have a movie coming out on July 25th.
Yeah, but over that period of time, how many lives did this project have? How many drafts did you go through before settling on this one?
Well, we actually, Frank Spotnitz and I actually sat down and worked out a story about 4 years ago, and we pitched it. They had come to us and said, "Let's do a movie then," and we pitched it to Fox. They loved the idea. We began negotiations, and then there was a big business problem, like a contractual thing that had to do with the TV show, and it got in the way for several years. So we actually never wrote a script until we finished the script last August, so a year ago coming up, and that was the first time we had actually done a draft of the movie. We did several polishes, I'd call it, on that, and that is really what we shot.
Well, you've decided to, as you've said, to move away from the show mythology, and it's just kind of a standalone premise just for this film alone. Was that always in the back of your mind that you wanted to go that way, and what went behind that decision?
Yeah, we always talked about doing a standalone episode, which really is the kind of, I would call it, meat and potatoes of the X-Files TV series. We had already done a mythology movie, which was sort of, I would call it, command performance, because it was during the ongoing television series, and it was the story to tell then. We feel this is the story to tell now.
Right. Now I know that the plot is very secretive. People have been told that they can ask anything except the particulars about the plot. So that's very challenging.
That doesn't stop them from asking.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'll try to respect that mandate as much as I can. But how important was kind of crafting the Mulder and Scully characters this time, in terms of how they've matured in the interim for these past 10 years?
It's a good question, and it really is the heart of it's the heart of the show and the heart of the movie, and it was very important that we be honest to the characters through the 6 years it's been since we've last seen them. We wanted to imagine where they were in their lives, in their relationship, both personal and professional, and that's really that was the beginning of the conversation about what kind of story to make this.
Mulder.
What?
Stop.
Okay, just feel free to give up like everybody else.
This is not my job anymore, Mulder.
No, that's right. You're just like my booking agent now, right?
You're right. This is my fault.
What do you mean it's your fault?
For getting you involved in this.
No. It was the right thing to do, Scully.
This is not about finding an FBI agent. This is about you trying to save your sister.
My sister is dead.
It hasn't stopped you from looking for her. Mulder, I have been through this too many years with you. Believing you can save her. You cannot save her. Not now and not ever.
Now, when I announced that you were coming on the show, I had so many questions submitted from all around the world, and I wanted to read some of those to you and ask some of these. You've been known to go through chat rooms and message boards during the series to get a sense of what the fans want. Did you do that this time around for the second film?
Frank Spotnitz really keeps tabs on the internet. I'm less so, but he keeps me informed. We're always mindful of the fans to the extent that we can be, but we really just try to tell everybody the best story possible. But we listen, and I have to say it's the fans who got this movie made, in the sense that we heard their voices and responded to their enthusiasm.
Yeah, the fans are fantastic. I mean, I've just these past couple of days, just the correspondence I've had, and really, I mean, from all over the world, they're just dying to see the second film. Scott from Fresno wanted to know if your film will address where the series ended off. For example, with Mulder being tried for murder.
Yes, we take that into account, of course, because that's the last time we saw them. They essentially rode off into the sunset, and with Mulder as a fugitive, Kelly in a sense as well. But it really is Mulder that is and was wanted by the FBI.
Right. And the X-Files Italian fan club, they would like to know the kind of the emotions that you felt when you were on the set that first day after this long interim of 10 years. How did that feel that first day?
It was, the emotion hit me previous to that first day. It hit me when I first sat at my dining room table with David and Jillian doing a table read of the script. And it's the first time all of us had been in the same room together in over 5 years. And I have to say, I got quite emotional. And actually, just even thinking about it right now makes me emotional. It was, we've worked and known each other now for, nearly a quarter of our lives. And it's, I think, for Dave and Jillian, that's certainly a quarter of their lives. It was like a family reunion of sorts. It was, I don't know, we have a connection that's, it's almost indescribable. We all kind of grew up together.
You would have to feel like family. I mean, you spent that much time with this tight-knit group of people, I can imagine. But when you get everyone back together, is there a difference in chemistry between a film set and a TV set?
No, this is a misconception. You really make a movie with the same personnel and equipment as you do a television series. You may have some more toys. You may have some extra personnel for a variety of things, physical effects, visual effects, computer-generated effects, things like that. But essentially, the same cameras. You may change film stock. There is, but of course, you have to be mindful that you are telling a story that is going to be on a gigantic screen. And when you do a close-up, someone's head is going to be 8 to 12 feet tall.
Sure.
All the detail that shows up on that big screen needs to be thought about in a way you can do less so on television. It's a different format. The shape of the screen is different. It is a different storytelling vehicle as well. The big screen demands a certain kind and size of story.
Yeah, but at the same time, do you find that there are things that you can do with the characters in the story on film that you couldn't do on TV?
Well, I'll have to say you must, I think, because the big screen demands a story to match, and that's not to say it needs to be a spectacle or it needs to be an epic. But for what we do, we needed to put the characters in a situation and or place, take them someplace we wouldn't do in the television series, really because we were telling 20 to 25 stories a year, and we couldn't. You can only take the characters emotionally so far through those, both the year, the season, and the season of the X-Files. We would wear them out and the audience out if we took them too far, too fast.
Right. Just got a couple more questions for you. I know you're on the road and you're very busy, but I'll let you off the hook in just 1 second. But David from Scotland wanted to know why the intense secrecy?
The element of surprise is something that filmmakers used to hold sort of naturally, and it was fun to go to a movie and not know what you were going to see. Now there's a called the business of spoiling the secret, Everyone on the if the word leaks out, everyone knows instantly around the world. And there are these sites dedicated to spoiling the secret. When we did the first movie, I think it was one of the first days of filming, and the entire plot was in the National Enquirer. It's just everyone tries to keep a secret. So far we've kept the secret. I don't know if we can keep it for the next month, but we'd like to. And it seems to me that the fans would like to have it a secret as well. It'd be more fun to open that present on Christmas Day, so to speak. And and journalists have been very respectful of it as well.
Speaking of secrecy, it was released on the news last week that you're already in the midst of filming your next project?
I put something on film that was important to me, something I wanted to say. I'm going to work on it slowly. I don't know if it'll ever come out, but it's just something that I felt I wanted to try.
Yeah. Would you consider this your dream project?
Not necessarily, but it seemed to be something that was important to me, and I'm working on it.
Okay. We have a question from Buenos Aires. It asks, there's a common thread of philosophy, faith, and psychology that runs through your work. What does that say about you and your views on humanity, and where does this come from?
It probably comes from my parents and my upbringing and my own faith, which has grown and continues to be tested. And ultimately and essentially these are the important questions in life. And I'm so blessed, as has been everyone who has worked for and written on the X-Files, to be able to sort of talk about these things through the characters for so long.
Yeah. And that ceasefire strategies, that was a question from her as well. It seemed to be a very common question out there for you. If this is successful, and I know it will be, will we be looking for another X-Files film in the future?
I'm knocking wood right now because it is successful. And I think naturally, I think there would be a desire to see another movie if this movie is successful. But right now we're hard at work at trying to make sure that this one, in fact, does well.